Behind the shades.
What do you think?
I think I was going to say I think that people don't want to get left behind, but then that ties into fear. And then I was going to say I don't think people want to seem less than, but then that's coming from fear,
Fear. Right. And it's all
right?
fear of like not knowing. I called it the Goldilocks complex. This is literally what I feel like everyone deals with is we work as hard as possible to succeed. And then when we don't succeed, it's not enough. If we do succeed or we put too much on our plate, we're spending too much. It's like this, it's too big, it's too small, but what is your right? Like I had a business coach try and sell me, and he was telling me how much money I could make every single month and how it wouldn't require more time and this and that. And I was just like, no, like I'm not, like it sounds like you're helping a lot of people. I'm happy for you, but like I'm not your potential client. And he was very persistent with me to the point I got a little agitated and a little spicy, which I can be spicy sometimes. And I said something along the lines of, with all due respect, I have said no, I'm not interested 3 times now. My purpose and my drive is not money oriented. So I am not your ideal client. I don't want to take on as many clients as possible and make all the money in the world. I want to help people in whatever way helping is most impactful. If that means less financial stability for me, then fine. But that's not something I'm really worried about because it's not about the money we make or the blueprint we're on or what other people are doing, because you can follow that and at the end of the road be dissatisfied with your life because it wasn't your life. It wasn't your passions. It wasn't your choices. You were just going along to get along so you didn't feel left behind in this fictitious timeline of what we believe life should be. And I think one of the most important questions people need to actually answer for themselves is, what relationship do you want to have with fear? We encounter fear every single day. Fear of what others are thinking of us, fear that we're going to be seen in a specific way, fear that we aren't doing enough, fear that we're doing too much. I mean, everything is so uncertain in so many people that it's fear every day. But do you want to use it as a stop sign? Oh, I'm afraid I'm not going to do enough, so I'm just going to not do it at all. Do you want to use it as a motivator to like overdo it? But like, where is balance within fear, and how do you want to respond to fear?
So you made a good point where you mentioned we deal with fear all the time. Now, do you help people overcome that type of fear that maybe prevented them to leading the life that is generally going to make them happy instead of copying from someone else?
I try to help them befriend fear. I think fear is like a cockroach with a giant flashlight in front of it. Like the shadow of fear looks really, really big, but once we go into it, it's just, a tiny cockroach. And it's not enjoyable by any means. I don't like cockroaches, just like I don't like fear. But at the end of the day, like I respect all of my emotions. And that's what I try to get my clients to is respect, like this is happening for a reason. You don't have to like it, but you can use it for you. And so I try to help them just distance the kind of emotional attachment of the meaning they bring to fear and actually try and see it from a more zoomed out version. So many times people are like, but what if I go out and I am myself and people don't like me? And I'm like, okay, so you go out, people don't like you, then what? And I just like wait for them to try and answer. And sometimes like, then I'm gonna cry and go home and eat a bunch of ice cream. I'm like, okay, so you cry, go home, eat a bunch of ice cream, then what? Like at the end of the day, we have no option but to keep going. So, okay, you get knocked down. Again, we're humans. We learn through getting things wrong a lot of times. That's literally how we start to walk from babies. We don't have the strength in our legs. So when we fall down, getting up from a squat is how we build that strength. So every time we're falling down in life, whether that's a psychological fall down or a physical fall down, we're getting stronger from it. So I try to help people see, fear is a caution sign. All right. See it, identify what it is. Okay, I'm afraid of something. That means something I care about feels uncertain. That's really what it is. What do you want to do with that knowledge then? Do you want to be more considerate around this? Do you want to put more of an investment forward? Do you want to have more balance? Do you just want to think about it more? But if you look at fear as a reason to not do things, you're going to live a life that you're going to regret at some point. And that is actually not something, I mean, I'm saying it, but it was something I learned from when I volunteered in the nursing home back in college. They said the worst thing you can do is look back and live with regret. So dare to get it wrong. At least you'll know you tried, and that's worth it. And, I'm sure you understand this, starting your own business and having this whole arena of trying to manage a business and get clients and help people. Like, there's fear every day. And I jokingly tell my clients, and I'll tell you, like, my business strategy too, it's throw it at a wall and see what sticks. Is it the most efficient or, logical or strategic? I don't know, but it's mine and I'm okay with it because I accept that getting it wrong, which I'm scared to get things wrong, just like everyone else, is gonna happen so I can learn something. I don't have to like it along the way, but we're not meant to like everything in life. And that's where I think we really get ourselves in trouble, is we try to look at life to be happy instead of find your true purpose. Because if your purpose is to, live a life that brings good into other people's lives and impacts the world, the things you like aren't always going to correlate with that purpose. So maybe it's more about defining your purpose. And when fear pops up, it's okay, but would this action get me closer to my purpose or further away from my purpose? And I think that's more of how we need to think, instead of, do I like this? Does this make me happy? You know what I mean?